Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Colleen. I write sci-fi and fantasy stories. Today I will be sharing 5 books that made me want to become a writer. So the first book that really made me want to become a writer is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I read it when I was, I think, 12 or 11. It was one of the first books that I bought or that me and my sister bought because all of our books before were passed down or like given by a family member. But that was the Percy Jackson series was one of the first books that we bought, and it's one of the first books that I read completely. I think the first book that I actually read was The Tale of Despero, but I don't remember the story. But yeah, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief was the book that made me want to write. Knowing that the author wrote basically the whole series, I think for his son who has ADHD and dyslexia, kind of made me even more interested in making my own story, having ADHD myself. I don't have dyslexia, but having ADHD myself, it's like the book really drew me in because it was told in a way that kind of like catered to my ADHD brain. It was an easy read. It was engaging the whole way through. And yeah, I really like this book. I also like the movie actually. And the TV series is also good. But the movie is good in its own way. Yes, so this is the first book that made me want to become a writer. The second one that kind of inspired me as well was Wizard's First Rule. It's one of the adult fantasy books that I've ever read. I read the whole series. I think it was 12 books when I was in high school. I don't remember, maybe like grade 10, 9 or 10. It's been a while since I've read it, so I don't know much about it, but I don't remember a lot of the story. I might read it again. It's a really good book. Usually I don't have like the patience for series, but this one was interesting. It was, I guess, faster paced than other fantasy books I've read. But yeah, this one, it has a TV show as well. I think Australian TV show called Legend of the Seeker. I watched it. It's good. I mean, it's different from the books, but it's still good. But this one, I if you haven't read the book yet, give it a try. I don't remember much of it anymore because it's been more than 10 years since I've read it, but I remember like bits and pieces of it that's really vivid in my mind. There's this one character that was like eating and he has rings in his fingers, and it's very vivid. It's like one of the only scenes I remember, but I might read it again because it is one of the longer works of fantasy fiction that I actually can read. I haven't tried any of George R.R. Martin's books. I don't know if I will, but this one made me want to write more like adult fantasy fiction. The next one is Retribution Falls by Chris Wooding. I didn't know it was sci-fi. I thought it was just, I mean, it's steampunk. If you haven't heard about this book either, it's pretty good. It's really like a found family heisty sort of story. Morally gray characters. I really enjoyed this series as well. I might read it again because I did really like the characters in it. It kind of made me drawn into making the found family type of dynamics. It has, I forgot the name of the protagonist's, I guess, lover. It's like on and off relationship, but she was like a really complex character that like I don't know if I liked or didn't like, but she was the sort of character that's morally gray, and you know, like you don't know whether what she does are justified because of what happened to her, but it's a good story. I like the characters. There's a cat, I think, in this series. I remember the ending. The cat, I think, I don't know if the cat, she gave birth, or like, no, I don't think she gave birth. I think she, or he, I don't remember the cat's name. But there was a kitten and aboard the ship, and it kind of like signified starting over again. But it was a good like I said, I don't remember much of it anymore because I've read it more than 10 years ago. This is one of the books that I might go back and read again. It is, I think there's, I don't remember how many books, 5 books in this series. One, oh no, those are versions. I don't remember, but it's really good. I'll see if I can borrow it in the library. I don't have the complete series yet. I think I have one of the books, but not the whole series. But yeah, this one was a good character relationship dynamics. Next one is The Song of Achilles. This one, it's vivid in my mind because I've read it a couple of times in the past 10 years. At first, when I actually first read this, I think I was in 10th grade, ninth grade, I don't remember. 10th, I think. I actually hated it. I didn't like it that much when I first read it. I thought the writing was very detached and emotionless. That's what I think at first. But then I think I read it again right after I read it the first time, and I was like, it's actually not that emotionless. It's written in a way that's very simple. The writer, Madeline Miller, wrote it in a way that's like, it's not poetic or like flowery in a way that is, heavy on metaphors or heavy on similes, but it's poetic in its simplicity. There are lines from the Odyssey, or sorry, the Iliad, that kind of, that she adapted into the Song of Achilles, that was really nicely done. I'd say. I think it was, the line was, there are no bargains between lions and men. I will kill you and eat you raw. I think that's how it goes. I really like that. That's one of the lines that was from the Iliad, I believe. I haven't read fully the Iliad yet, but I know that line, I think, is part of the Iliad. And I like how Madeline Miller kind of worded it in her story, in her novel. But yeah, this is the retelling of Achilles' story, not the Iliad itself, because it shows Achilles' childhood adventures with Patroclus. But this one, I remember vividly. I really like this book. It grew on me. I used to hate it, but now I really love it. I might read it again. It's the book that I read whenever I feel stuck creatively. Like, it's not like a really really creative or really really poetic book, but I just really enjoyed the characters, and I the characters and the story, the perspective of the story. I know I heard a lot about people kind of hating on the way women are portrayed in the story. I do understand where they're coming from. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I just enjoyed this as a mythological retelling. It's nice. I read The Witch of Colchis as well. I really like that as well. I know, like, it's about, like, women's rage. I think cathartic, the way they ended that story. Anyway, the next one is The Thief by Megan Wayland Turner. I actually haven't finished the series for this. I read it when I was in university. I really enjoyed it. The story is kind of set in like a ancient Greece type of setting. I'm not really sure because it's not really like described as prominently, but I really like how they made, like the unreliable narrator, what do you call it, type of story. It's I don't remember much. I have really bad, like, short-term memory or long-term memory. No, I remember a lot when I was a kid, but like, 5 years ago, not really. But I did enjoy this one. I really like the pacing, the characters. I just remember the protagonist, and I remember really liking him. But yeah, I really want to read the rest of the story. This one just really inspired me to make more interesting narrators, like having a narrator that's not just telling the story but kind of has their own goals, like, obviously this story is this perspective is from the protagonist, that he's the narrator. Obviously he has goals, he has desires. But I think similar to the book Thief by, sorry, I forgot the narrators, Mark something. um but yeah, like, Death was the narrator in that book. I really like when there's, an external character that's kind of invested in the story as well. I don't remember much about this. Like, unfortunately, I don't remember much about what I read. That's why I've started making book like journal, what do you call it, book review journals, just so I remember what I wrote. I think I forgot her name, Carrie reads. um she has short-term memory, or short no bad memory as well, so she like makes videos of the books she's read. It's kind of similar to me, but I write it down. That's all for the 5 books that made me want to become a writer. I'm not really good at making book reviews. That's why I don't do it. I just rate, 5 star, 4 stars, or 3 stars. But yeah, those are the books that made me want to become a writer. I don't read as much as I should. I think one of the newest books that I've read that really kind of made me want to write was In Memoriam by Alice Wynne. That was a good one. I used to read like historical fiction a lot, especially when I was in high school. I don't remember why I started that phase, but I used to read like World War I, World War II, Vietnam War fiction. I used to read a lot of those. I don't know why. It's not a genre that I think I will write in the future. But yeah, I think I did make when I was in university, I had a video game writing class. I did write a story based on the I think it was the Spanish occupation in the Philippines. I don't remember much about that game because I didn't really have a plot for it. I only wrote like the opening scene, which is, there's a character, a Filipina. She was at a party with Spanish officers, and something happened, and then they, like, sneak away, and then I don't know what you call them. I don't think they're the Katipunan, but they're like, the rebel forces, the revolutionaries. But yeah, I was born in the Philippines, but I don't remember much about the lessons I've learned when I was in elementary there. That's why I want to, do more research. That's why I'm not confident in making historical fiction novels. I would like to write one. I think it's very interesting, especially writing in, the perspective of a Filipino person who was affected by like, not me, but like the character. My grandfather was a soldier in World War II. I never met him, so I didn't really hear many stories about what happened. But yeah, I think that genre is just, you know it's a lot of work to write something that's not like a caricature, like writing something that's genuine and doesn't use, other people's trauma regarding it. But I would like to write not like a war story, but like just something set in the past. A lot of things inspired me to become a writer, but the one that actually made me like say that I want to write something in the future was Percy Jackson. I think just hearing this story about how the author wrote it for his son who has, ADHD, just made me want to, do something similar for people who have ADHD. I don't really know if it's my ADHD, but I do have trouble focusing or even starting a book if it doesn't entertain me, like engage my brain right away. I often do not finish the book. Similar to This Is How You Lose the Time War, I think it was just so, what do you call it? Not vague, but it was very, how do you call it? Like, it metaphysical. I don't know. It's not, it wasn't tangible enough for me to understand what's happening. I don't know if that's ADHD or it's just me. Um, but sometimes if it doesn't give me something that's physical or something that moves along in the story, it's hard for me to keep track of what's happening. So I haven't read a lot, so I can't say, but like literary fiction, I don't read much in that genre. But yeah, so sometimes it's hard for me to read new books. I tried reading Clara and the Sun. It's good. Like it's not like metaphorical or anything, but like how do you say it? It's good. It's just like, it's contemporary. For a sci-fi book, it's very contemporary in a way that it was how it was written. Like I enjoy books that are fast paced. I enjoy books that are, I guess, plot heavy, you could say, or character driven. There are some, like, I like reading poetry, but it would be like, poetry, not literary fiction. I feel like I'm saying some stuff that are like, might offend some people. But yeah, I mean, it's my per, preference, but yeah, I don't have much today. Just wanted to share 5 books that kind of interested me or inspired me to become a writer. I've been stuck with my story. I haven't written much since my last video. I mean, work isn't stressful. It's actually really fun. But I get home late, so sometimes I get too sleepy because my other medication causes like not just drowsiness, like it sedates me. So like whenever I take it, I in a few hours I'd be like asleep. So sometimes I don't have the time to write, and then I couldn't make a video last week, so because I didn't have an idea yet. But yeah, I haven't written much. I started reading, what was it called? I forgot the title. The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. Like when I say I started reading, that means like I just borrowed the book. Hopefully that kind of breaks my reading slump. If you have any books that are fast paced or like character driven or plot heavy, or actually any like literary fiction that you think I would enjoy. I don't know if you would know what I enjoy, but like any recommendations basically. So anything that you like, that I can check out maybe, if it's in the library. Drop a comment. Any books that you recommend, literary books, maybe, hopefully, so that I can check out something. That's it for today's video, and I will see you next time.